Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my Friday Coffee and a Card Facebook Live. I am so happy to be here with you today. Today is Friday, November 22nd, 2024. It is still coolish and breezy here in Middle Tennessee. We're only supposed to get a high of 50 today. And it's chilly, I'll be honest. Our furnace has been running a lot, but our furnace is working and I'm inside, so all is well. I hope you guys are getting ready for your Thanksgiving holiday next week. If you're here in the United States, Thanksgiving is one of my all-time favorite holidays. It's all about family and thankfulness, and I love that so very much. It caught up with me. Hi, Penny. Glad you're here. It's at the end of the month, so it's really late this year, and somehow I just kept thinking, oh, we have more time. It is going to be here next week. So, yes, got to get on the ball. Although I think we're going to my daughter's for Thanksgiving, so she has the brunt of it. But I'll be bringing a bunch of good stuff, so it'll be fun. Okay, my name is Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. I have been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 27 years, and I love what I do. I am coming to you from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, in the United States, and I'm here to help you find the joy of card making and paper crafting, to give you tips and tricks to make that easier for you, some creative ideas to spark your creativity, and then to encourage you to send those creations that you make out to others and make their day. Hi, Annette. Glad you're here. Oh, Windy and Rain. Yes, you guys have been getting hit up there. Yeah, hopefully that storm will move through and you'll have some better weather ahead. Crazy. Let's see what else I want to tell you. Please be sure to say hello in the comments. Let me know you're here. I love your comments. I like to hear how your day's going, what the weather's like by you, like Annette just said. I just feel like that's my connection with you guys. So the more you comment, it makes me happy. I can't see your comments once I go to the table. My hair is a little funky here. But I will go back and read all the comments at the end and make sure that I respond. So please leave your comments. As always, I will be drawing from all of the comments left today through midnight tomorrow. Hi, Cheryl. Glad you're on. And I will be giving away the card we make today. So every comment counts as an entry. Like I said, I love to hear from you, so that is my way of encouraging that. Any comments entered today through midnight tomorrow, November 23rd, will be entered to win that card when I draw the next morning. Congratulations to the winner of my last card. Good morning, Cheryl. Hi, Sharon. Oh, thank you for sharing. I so appreciate that. What was I saying? I get a little lost sometimes. So congratulations to the winner of my last card, Kathy Tynan. You won that vintagey deer card we made last time. Kathy, I need you to private message me your full mailing address, or you can email it to me at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. So that I can send you your card. So please do that by midnight tomorrow, the 23rd. If I don't hear from you, then I will redraw the next morning for a new winner. Okay. Also, if you can share my video to a crafty group, a crafty friend, your homepage, share me anywhere you like. I really appreciate it when you do that. That gives me more exposure for my small business and really helps me out. It is so appreciated. So if you do that, I'll give you a bonus entry in the drawing for the card today. I think that is all I need to tell you about that. Yep, so let's get down to my table. You might see my husband walking around out there. He's trimming and then he's going to mow the lawn. So you do see we have sunshine, which is really super nice. I like the sunshine. Even when it's cold, it just makes me happy. When it's too dreary for too long, I start getting just a little down. So, okay, this is me. Maureen Rolfes, the Crazy Stamping Lady. You can find my blog at crazystampinglady.blogspot.com, My email at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. My Facebook is facebook.com/crazystampinglady, which is right where you are now. My YouTube is under my name, Maureen Rolfes, and you can shop with me at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. Here is my hostess code for the month of November. If you are shopping with me, please use this code. It gets me the most benefits for your order and allows me to give the most back to you guys. So I so appreciate it. If your order is over $150 pre-shipping and handling, then don't use that code, because in that case you will earn rewards of your own, which I would love for you to get. Okay guys, I have one card to share today. This is from my friend Lori, and it is a Thanksgiving card. Just look how gorgeous that is. Now, I am guessing on here, Lori is great about using things to make her cards, things that I would never think of. She has cut up Kleenex boxes. She's used papers from, I think, some magazines or catalogs. I am pretty sure that this is a piece of ribbon or fabric. It is that thin, sheer kind, and she placed it over a piece of, it looks like wood design paper underneath, and then just glued it around and added the ribbon. And just look how gorgeous. This will be up on my mantle right after class, and I will enjoy it through the holiday. Thank you so much, Lori, for thinking of me. Beautiful card. Okay, I'm gonna just make sure that I can find me here. I'm sure I'm in the right place because you're all popping on, which makes me happy, but I just need to double check to make sure I can watch for placement and stuff. I can't see comments, but I can actually see the video. So looks like I am good. Free monthly card class. Every month I do a free monthly virtual card class, and I send out kits to those who place a qualifying order. So the class is open to anyone that wants to watch it. But if you want to receive a kit for the projects we're making, you just need to place an order in the month of November 2024 using this hostess code, or be over $150 pre-shipping and handling and tax. Either one works. And you will get a free kit from me. If you place a $50 order, you will get 3 free card kits. A $75 order will get you 3 free card kits plus a bonus project. A $100 order gets you 3 free card kits, a bonus project, and a half a pack of an embellishment. Reminder that most of these products are retired, but they are new. And when you get them and put them together, you will be able to find ways to make cards very similar with what you have on hand, I am sure. You can actually check my video library here on this page and go back and find some of my card classes if you want to kind of see the projects type that we make. I love them. I'm always really happy with the class, so I hope you like them too. Any smaller order at all will receive a handmade card from me at the end of the month as a thank you, and all orders entered, no matter how big or small, will be put into my monthly order prize drawing, where I draw for 3 lucky winners for a prize. The December class, so this is for the kits earned in November, so that's your orders right now, will get mailed by December 1st. And that class will be online right here on Monday, December 9th at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time. So I hope you'll join me no matter what. Catalog selector. Guys, just a reminder, I am closing out this catalog selector next Wednesday, which is a bit early. It might be earlier than other demonstrators, but I want to be sure I get it closed out and through before the Thanksgiving holiday, because then it goes into the holiday and the weekend, and if I have a problem or I get too busy, it wouldn't happen. So to get a catalog directly mailed to you from me through Stampin' Up, you just have to have placed an order between June 1st and November 26th of this year. Then a catalog will automatically be mailed to you sometime near the end of December, possibly early January, but they've been coming out earlier, so it could be mid to end of December. So you'll have that early to start looking through and preparing and seeing what we have. It'll be the Spring Mini Catalog and the Celebration Catalog. They'll both come to you. If you don't want to place an order, or if you're a brand new customer and follower and would like a catalog, then just email me at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. I'll have you fill out a little request form, and then I will send you a catalog out. My catalogs that I mailed, though, will not be mailed until January. So you'll get them just a little bit later, but that's a perk of placing the order, that they get their catalogs from me earlier. Okay, mini catalog, still going strong. This is going to end. I always have to look up the date. This will end on January 6th. So beginning of December sometime, a lot of these things will go on like a last chance, where they're just out there until they're gone. So just be aware of that. If there's stuff you really love, you want to order it before that happens, because then things go pretty fast. Once I know that date that things are being moved over, I will let you know. Today we are using some product from this mini catalog. We're going to be using the Nest of Winter Designer Series paper, as well as the dies from this sweet collection right here. So we're only using the dies because I'm going to be using it just to cut a bird out of the paper. And that's going to be for our sketch challenge number 20. Our main catalog is still going strong. This goes till April, so you have time. Don't forget about it though, guys. Once in a while, just go back and look, because you'll be surprised at what you see in here that you might have missed. At least I always am, and I'm a demo and look at it all the time. So, okay, sketch challenge number 20. This is what we are on today. I have been doing sketch challenges for 2 years now. Once a month, I put out a sketch challenge, and the reason I do these is just to help you spark your creativity, to give you a card layout that you can work from and start with, and just see the fun things you can come up with. So I do this challenge, and it is a challenge because I challenge you then to make a card using this design and post it in the pinned post of my Facebook group. So that post won't be up there till probably sometime tomorrow, but you can start making your cards, because you can take a screenshot of this right now. And then I have you post them there underneath that pin, and then on the 1st of December, I will draw for a winner. It is so fun to see what you guys come up with. So on this page, I'm giving you my measurements. That doesn't mean you have to use those measurements. Again, this is to spark your creativity. So if you want to do thinner strips and more of them, or thicker strips and less of them, if you want this to be a circle instead of a rectangle, if you want to put it horizontal and play with it, whatever you like to do, as long as somehow I can see you picked something from this sketch to spark your creativity. So this is the sketch we're going to be using for our card today. I'm going to set this over here to the side, and we'll refer to it as we go. I also have the measurements for the card I'm making today. So at the end, I'll put the card back out, as well as this recipe for the card, so that you can take a screenshot of that if you want. I have a couple customers who've really thanked me for doing that recently. They screenshot it, and then they have it in a folder, or they can print it and put it in a binder, and they can remember how that card was made. So I will bring that back, I promise, guys. So here's the pieces for our card today. I'm going to pull these out. It is a basic white envelope. It is a piece of cherry cobbler. Let me get all those little pieces out of here. This is an A2 cherry cobbler base. It is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have an inside piece that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then a scrap of designer series paper that I am actually going to put along the inside of my card. Now, I think on my recipe or somewhere I mentioned, usually my scraps are between 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. I love 1/4 inch scraps, but sometimes you need to look at your design. Like this is a 1/4 inch piece. And if I laid in this in there, you can't even see that that's flowers. You don't even really know what those images are. So for my scrap in here, I picked one that's just a little bit wider. And fortunately, it has a little bird on it. So that worked out perfect. But just think about that. If I say a 1/4 inch scrap, you might need to make yours wider to make it look nice on your card. Okay, so that's going to be the inside of our card. For the outside of our card, I have 5 strips of Designer Series paper. And to get these 5 strips, they are out of that Nest of Winter Designer Series paper. And I really did use scraps. I think I've showed you this before, but I'll show it again. It's been a while. I keep all of my smaller Designer Series paper scraps in one of our clear cello envelopes inside my package of Designer Series paper. So when I wanted to get my 5 scraps for here, they are each 1 inch by 4 inch. I just came into this envelope, pulled out pieces that were at least 4 inch and that I could cut 1 inch strips out of and use that. So that way I am always trying to use up my extra scraps, and it's just a good tip, and they're easy to find if you keep them in that cello envelope. The other thing we're using from here today is we are cutting out this beautiful bird image. Actually, I don't think we're cutting this one out. It's also beautiful and on here. Let me show you the one we are cutting out. We're cutting the one out of here. So the die that comes with this set cuts this image out perfectly. It will also cut this image out, but when it does it, it is going to cut off some of your greenery. So just be aware of that. It's still beautiful when you do it if you need it for lots of cards, but this one on this page cuts out perfectly. So that is what we're using. Okay, so let me grab the dies right here. So these are the dies, and they have some beautiful foliage. They'll cut out a single bird too, some little twigs and stuff. We're just going to use this double bow die today, so I'm going to take it right out. Double bird, not double bow. Double bird die. Sometimes my tongues get all, not tongue. See, I can't even talk. Sometimes my tongue gets all twisted. So the dies will cut out this bird here and this. This is the same image that we are using, only we're doing it from the Designer Series paper. So it goes a little bit quicker and you don't have to worry about the coloring on it, although I love to color. But for this card, we're using this one. My sketch challenges, I try to make pretty simple for you guys. I don't want them to be too intense. Now, you don't have to cut it out of here. You can color it and do it, or you can do a whole different image. In fact, I prefer if you do. But I just like to show you that things can be done a little bit quicker with that. Okay, so we also have 2 more pieces. This is a piece of basic white that is 2 inches by 3 inches, and a piece of cherry cobbler that is 2 1/4 inch by 3 1/4 inch, and we're going to use those also on our card. So remember, this is the design we're following. So we're going to put this together, and I'll bring that in again later and show you how we are following it. I think the first thing we're going to do is just cut out our birds so we have them ready. A lot of times I do like to go through and just cut out anything I need to cut out, do any stamping I need to stamp, so that I'm just ready then to put my card together. So we're going to lay the little bird image down onto my mini cut and emboss machine. I am going to place the die around it, and what you do is you just want to bring the die up all the way around and make sure it is just touching your image everywhere. There shouldn't be on the front a lot of white showing around the edge. It should come up right up to the lines on your image. So take a minute and just make sure it is that way and it's where you want it. Because once you cut it, it is cut, guys, and you are going to be stuck with whatever you just did. And believe me, I don't always cut it perfect. This could be one that doesn't. We'll see. I'm going to take a piece of washi tape and lay it onto my image. Now, this washi tape is well loved. I use it over and over. I've put it onto my clothing to get all the little fuzzies on it. I don't want it to stick super hard, but I want it to stick enough to hold this in place. So I stick it down on my image, onto the die, and then onto the plate, and that will usually hold it right where I want it. Run this through. And there we go. Oh, that turned out pretty perfect. So that is the image that we're using. There's a couple little scraps here. If I can get them off. There we go. And then the scrap paper from around, I'm just going to throw that away. We'll get rid of these for the moment. And I'm going to put this on my little magnetic thing over here so I don't lose it, and then we're good. The next thing I'm going to do is do the inside of my card. So for the inside and for my sentiments, I really love this set. I think it is just beautiful, and it is great because you can use it year round. But I wanted a Christmas card. So this one says sending thanks and much love, which would be great for a thank you after the holidays. A thinking of you always, a friend like you brings me happiness. Wonderful sentiments, but not what I needed today. So I pulled out an online exclusive set. This is our Greetings of the Season, which has become fast a favorite of mine. I love the fonts in here. I love the mixture of script and block letters. I got a great bunch of little words here that you can put together. It has a to and from for your tags. The sentiments are, may your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration, and it's the most wonderful time of the year. And then there's a season's greetings, a new year, a Christmas, and a love and joy. So great sentiments. For today's card, I chose to use, it's the most wonderful time of the year. And I'm going to take my Cherry Cobbler ink and ink that up. Now the reason I chose Cherry Cobbler is because of these little berries on here. They are a mixture of Real Red and Cherry Cobbler. And my prototype I did on a Real Red base. So we'll compare them when I'm done here and see what you think, which one is better. But this will be the one I'm giving away today. And I'm going to come up here in the corner and just put, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Now you might notice that I have my piece of cardstock here and my sentiment upside down. If you're a follower of mine, you've seen me do this before. I like to have my inside sentiment stamped straight, and by doing it upside down like that, it's closer to me, easier for me to line up, and then I can flip it around, and there is our inside sentiment for this card. And then I'm going to take this little strip I talked about earlier with that tiny cute little bird on it, and we are going to add this to the inside of our card also, just to kind of pull the whole theme of this card into the inside. And again, this is a scrap, guys. Use up your little scraps for things like this. And I'm going to place it just slightly above the bottom of the card. So there's a little bit of white showing. I should have moved it over. I'm going to see if I can scooch it a little bit. I try to center it. If it's not quite long enough, I try to center it. If it's too long, then I just trim it off. So, but I moved that. And it's just a little bit of white showing over here on the edge. I'm going to grab my tiny little trimmer. I know we don't sell these, but it is so handy for me. I'm just going to come in here. We're just going to cut off that tiny little piece of white, which probably would not even matter, guys. So do as I say sometimes and not as I do. But since I can trim it, hopefully, we're just going to do it. There you go. So now it's trimmed off even with the edge of my card. Get rid of that little cutter. You can do that with any of your paper trimmers. It's just the little ones, easy for me to put on the desk. Since we're stamping, I am also going to stamp my sentiment on the white layer for the front of the card. And for that one, I chose Love and Joy. So we're going to ink that up. And that's going to go down here to this side, kind of to the corner. Like that. And then I'm also going to put that little Love and Joy on the front of my envelope, just because it's beautiful. And you know I don't like naked envelopes. Okay, so that's all I'm doing on my envelope today. I think that is all the stamping that we're doing. So let me get rid of this. Now, you'll notice I let this dry a little bit before I'm going to put it on the inside of my card. I try to do that when I have these really rich regal inks like Cherry Cobbler, Pretty Peacock, Shaded Spruce, Blueberry Bushel. When I stamp on them, I try to kind of not mess with it for a little while, set it aside and let it completely dry, because those pigments are so deep and rich that they can tend to smudge for a little while after you stamp them. Most of our inks dry immediately. Those take a little longer. So we're going to place this on the inside of our cherry cobbler base. Just like that. Look how pretty that looks. The most wonderful time of the year. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so now we're going to follow this sketch. So I have 5 1-inch strips of Designer Series paper. These are all from the Nests of Winter paper. And I cut them out. So I have 2 each of 2 designs and then 1 different. I'm going to have this one as my center, and then we're going to have the other ones kind of surrounding it, just like this. Now, this is one layout you could do, even if this is in the center, or I could choose to make it even and go like this, or I could choose to make it even and go like this. So let me lay them all out and decide what I think I want to do. You know what, I kind of like this one like this, with the blues kind of framing the whole card. Now, when you see my prototype, I didn't do it in this order. So again, you'll be able to see another way that I did it. Now, there is no layer underneath these. These are going directly onto my card base. And you can see there's not going to be a lot of room between them, just a little of the cherry cobbler showing through. So the best way I've found to try to get these even is I'm going to do my bottom strip first. Just put some seal down the middle of it and come in here and place it. And I'm going to leave an even border side to side and just kind of an even border at the bottom, maybe slightly smaller to give me room to space my pieces. Okay, so there's one. And then I'm going to flip this around because I work better on things when they're closer to me. We're going to do the other end strip just the same way. And I'm going to try to place it with about the same spacing as that bottom one. Okay, don't worry too much about this, guys. Do your best and then let it go. Put your heart and soul and love into it and then let it go. You guys know card making is a ministry for me. And when I'm making cards, I'm usually praying for who the recipient's going to be. And it just makes it nice for me just to be able to do that. So now I'm going to take one of my birch ones, which is the next one. And on this one, I'm going to make a smaller little bit between them than the bottom because I know by laying them out here, I don't have a lot of room to work with. So we're just going to put, I want the cherry cobbler to show. So we're going to lay it like that. And then I'm going to do my other one at the top, same way. And I just find from working in from the edges to the middle, then when you place your middle one, you can center it and it looks good even if it's not all exactly evenly spaced. Okay, so we're going to lay that one there. And then we're going to come in with this middle piece. And this is a beautiful piece. And fortunately, it has a bird on it too, but I think our bird's going to be covered up unless I move my picture. We might play with that. Let's see, because I love that little bird. He's so darn cute. Okay, so let's put this one here in the middle. So this is a great card, like I said, for using up your scraps. So now you can see I have a little more space top and bottom on this piece than I do on these, but it doesn't matter because this one is now in the middle. So I may have meant to do that, which I did not, but I may have meant to it. Whoever's getting it doesn't know that I didn't mean to leave a little more around this middle one. So we're going to take our Love and Joy, which again, you saw I let sit for a while before I'm putting any glue on it, just to make sure that the cherry cobbler is dry. We're going to center that onto the cherry cobbler piece. And then another way to avoid smudging your images once you stamp them is instead of rubbing on the front to get it on there, tip it over and do this. Because then you're not rubbing your fingers across that sentiment and risking smudging it, okay? So there is that piece. Now this is going to go up on dimensionals. And like I said, if I lay it over here, I can choose where I want to lay it, down to the bottom, in the middle, up at the top. Or I could bring it over to this side if I wanted to. But either way, I'm going to cover the bird. So I think I'm going to stick with just the way it is on the design and place it over here to the right. And we're going to lift this up on some dimensionals. So let me grab 4 dimensionals for this. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Like I said, let me know what the weather is by you guys, what your plans are for the weekend. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? I would love to hear about all of that. Excuse me, I'm going to grab a sip of coffee because I have a tickle in my throat. I always have my coffee nearby, guys. If I don't, I'm in trouble. Okay, so we're going to place this piece. And I'm going to bring it in maybe about a 1/2 inch from the side here. So some of this Designer Series paper shows. And I'm going to have it covering part of the top strip and part of the 4th strip in both of these. That is just where I like it. Again, you saw me move it around. If there's a different layout that works better for you, especially if your Designer Series pictures back here show better a certain way, then go ahead and change it up. So make it yours. Now we're going to place our birds on here. Look how pretty that looks. And they kind of just frame that little love and joy. So when I'm looking at this image, I know that these berries and this tail are going to stick off this edge when I place this, okay? So I'm not going to put any glue directly behind them. I am going to put a dimensional to kind of help hold those pieces up. The rest of this is pretty much on my card except for the edge of this. So again, I will not go all the way to the edge. I'm going to use Tombow for this. So we're not doing the tail or the berries. I'm going to start here kind of in the middle of the bodies and just add a light coating of Tombow. You can see it is not super thick. You just need a little bit to hold your Tombow, to hold your paper onto your card. I'm going to come over here and do the berries and this over here, but I'm not going to do the edge of that branch. Same thing. I know that little very edge is going to stick over. So on this very, very end here, I don't want to add any Tombow glue. So let's place this on. Oh, and then I want to add my dimensionals. Sorry, almost got away from me. So we're going to put a dimensional here at the very edge so I know it's off of the cardstock on those berries. And you can actually pull up your edges and put these on after if you're a little worried about your placement. So then you'll know exactly what is sticking over the edge. We're going to come back here on the bird's tail and put one there too. And that'll just help anchor this part of the card to your base here. Get rid of that. Okay, so let's place him. Let's make sure he is the way we want it. I want the birds to frame that love and joy. Have that branch coming in from the side, just like that. And now my dimensionals are here and off the edge of my picture. Look how pretty that looks, guys. And this is all scraps here. How wonderful to use up your scraps. Okay, we got to add some other little trims to this, so let's do that. Make sure my inside is done. Yep, my inside is done. I'm going to take our online exclusive. This is gold twisted thread. And guys, we have had a lot of gold threads and twines and stuff over the years, but this one is wonderful. Some of them are just too thick for me to work with. They won't tie a nice bow. Not this one. This one is great. So I'm just going to cut off like 2 7-inch pieces of this. 7 inches is usually good for me to make a bow. If bows are harder for you, then give yourself 8 or 9 inches, whatever works for you. Watch, I hope I don't regret making it only 7, right? I talk so smart and then I won't be able to do it. But I think I can. So we're gonna just tie a little double bow with this gold. I'm gonna come around, pull those 2 ends through, and then we have our bow. And then of course, as always, you're just gonna play with it and get it to be the size you want, to look the way you want. I'm gonna pull those tails down so I can see where they go. Okay, so look how pretty this ties, guys. None of our gold twine, as far as I remember, has ever been as nice as this. Okay, so I'm gonna pull down these ends. We're gonna trim off those tails because I don't want it quite that long. And there is our little double bow for the front of our cards. That adds a little of that glimmer to it, gives it a sparkle for the holidays. And for this, I'm going to use Tombow. So I'm just going to come in here and place a dot of Tombow where I want my bow to go. And then we're going to take our gold twine and lay it right on top of there. And then you've seen me do this trick before, guys. I want to hold that in place. I want that glue to really touch the thread and absorb it and get it stuck to the card. So I'm going to lay a block on top of there while I'm doing a couple other things, and that'll help hold it in place. So I just can't recommend this enough, guys. If you want to add a little sparkle to your cards, hopefully it's still available with the online exclusives. Sometimes they do run out and we don't know about it, but it is a favorite of mine. I have bought a couple of them because I just love it. I couldn't believe how nicely it tied once I got it. So yay to that. Okay, guys, so you can see how our cards coming together like the little picture shows. The only thing we have left to do is add a little bling. So I pulled out our blooming pearls, and these are beautiful. I don't know if it gives me the colors. Some of our things do sometimes. I think, if I have to guess, that it is a bubblegum, pretty peacock. I am not real sure. Maybe just garden green, because they have a little opalescent on them, so that could be a garden green. And then gold. And you can see that the peacock looks beautiful on here. Actually, the garden green would look beautiful. But because I'm using the gold trim on here, and hopefully, let's see if that is stuck enough to stay. Yep, it is. I'm going to add gold to this one. So let's pick up a few of these gems. And when you see my prototype again, I used a different color, so you'll get to see it in 2 different colors. I'm going to grab my larger gold one and put it right here. And then one of the smaller gold ones and lay it down here. And then another tiny one. Well, maybe on my prototype I used a large. I think I'm going to use another large one. And I'm going to place it up here. Now I want to show you a tip. I've told you this before too. When I place large gems that stick up like this a little bit, I try to place them close to something else that is raised on my card, like this whole sentiment square. That way when it goes through the mail and squishes down, the fact that there's dimensionals behind this are going to keep this a little safer than usual. I usually will put a piece of cardstock over it to protect it too, but that is just a tip for protecting your gems when they're going through the mail. So that is the color I used on there. So this is our card, guys. This is the one I'm giving away today. This matches the sketch challenge exactly. But again, when you do it, change it up however you like, whatever makes you happy. I will have this posted on both my blog and in my pinned post here on my Facebook page by sometime tomorrow. It is a crazy busy day today and tomorrow for me, but hopefully by tomorrow evening they'll both be there. That is my goal. And then let me bring back in the dimensions for this like I told you I would. So if you want to screenshot what I did here on my card, you can do that, and then you could go ahead and make this card if you wanted to. I think it is a fun one. I think I'm going to make some more because I still have more scraps to use. So yay! And again, here's the inside. It's the most wonderful time of the year. So this is the card I'm giving away, guys. I am so happy you took some time to be with me today. I hope you like this card as much as I do. And some of the tips and the items I showed you, I hope they resonated with you today. Don't forget to leave your comments for a chance to win the card. You have till tomorrow night to be entered, so I would love to hear from you. I would also love to have your business. If you're looking for Stampin' Up! Products or a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, let me know. If you're interested in joining my Crazy Stamping Ladies team, I would love that. I am here to be your creative coach. So if you have any questions at all, if you need a catalog, or anything, just reach out to me at crazystampinglady@gmail.com, and I promise I'll get back to you. I plan to be here next Tuesday with another fun creative project, so I hope you'll plan to join me. Same time, same place. It is a busy week with Thanksgiving, but I do have a plan, so hopefully it'll work out. If for some reason I'm ever not here, I will be sure to make a post that you can look at in my Facebook page so you know what's going on. Okay, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the weekend, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.